How do I 23F convince my boyfriend 26 meters I didn't cheat? After he caught me in bed with another guy. So I 23F have been with my boyfriend 26 meters for about 3 years. We met when my family and I moved here for my university, about 3 months ago. I found out that my boyfriend had made out with some girl in a club after she messaged me. I was obviously destroyed and we have since broken up. While he proved to me he can be trusted, about 2 weeks ago I was out in a bar with my friends. And I saw a guy I sort of knew 23 meters, who was from my old area. I went up and asked if it was him and it was. Turns out he now goes to my university and this is his first year. I was never really friends with this guy, but we had a lot of mutual friends. And I'd met him in person once through friends. I also used to comment on his tweets because he was quite funny. So we talked a few times over Twitter. He said it was nice to see someone he knew here and we swapped numbers but never texted. 2 days ago I was walking my dog on the beach here, and he was walking ahead of me smoking a joint. I texted him saying that smells great and he looked around and saw me and we sat on a bench and spoke for a bit. My dog loved him, which is a surprise because he is a rescue and usually hates men relevant later. I shared the joint with him and it turns out we both had plans to get a Starbucks. So we went together. Afterwards, I invited him over to chill, not thinking much of it. Mainly because my dog was for some reason obsessed with him. We went home and went to my room. Nothing happened. He played with my dog and we spoke a bit. Listened to music and ate a bunch of snacks. At one point, he took his hoodie off and I saw he had a load of bruising and redness around the back of his neck. I asked him what it was, and he said it's from the barbell at the gym and he gets it after every leg day because he lifts a lot. I offer him a massage as he is giving one to my dog and he says yeah. This isn't too weird, as I do have a LVL3 diploma in sports massages. So he's sort of like sat between my legs and I'm giving him a back rub. My dog ends up falling asleep on him and he lays down a bit as my dog is like flopping everywhere. He is laying down on his back and his head is like on my stomach, between my legs, and I'm massaging his shoulders. Eventually we both fall asleep. 4 hours later I wake up. My dog is gone. That guy is still asleep on me, but he is now laying on his stomach with his face like on my belly. I laugh because he is out cold. I start like playing with his hair. I don't mean anything by this, but he has like afro texture hair. And I'm curious about how it feels. After a few minutes, my mom walks into my room, but she immediately runs out, shuts the door looking mortified. I slide out from under the guy who is still out cold and go talk to her. Turns out it looked to her like he was going down on me. I'm now also mortified and say no, he's just sleeping. She doesn't seem like she believes me. Then all of a sudden she goes wide-eyed and says, "Sweetie, I'm so sorry. You should call Alex." I'm like, WTF are you talking about? Nothing happened. She then explains to me that my boyfriend had come round to see me, and she let him in. He went up to my room and left almost instantly, looking upset without even saying bye to her. She assumed I'd told him I don't want to talk, and he'd felt embarrassed. I go to check my phone and I have a bombardment of texts, all basically saying how much of a boss I am, etc. The guy then all of a sudden comes downstairs, says he didn't realize the time and had to go as he wanted to go to the gym. I give him a hug and he leaves. My boyfriend does not believe at all that nothing happened, and he has a few fair reasons. Obviously, we are technically not together ATM. The guy is my type, light-skinned, tall, buff, dark features, whereas my BF is not, white with blonde hair. My dog was fine with him. It took my dog months to warm up to my BF. This makes my BF assume I've been seeing him for months. Obviously, it looks really bad. Me and him used to like each other's pictures on Instagram. I never really like pictures of boys on Insta. On one hand, I get how bad it looks. And I know I may have pushed a few boundaries and gotten a little flirty. On the other hand, I feel like screaming F*CKU in his face. He's the one who cheated. He's the reason we broke up. And now I get accused of F*CKING someone else for months, when I haven't touched anyone since we met. I'm so frustrated, I don't know what to do. I'm torn between comforting him and proving my innocence and feeling like I owe him nothing. And wishing I had F*CKD the guy. Edda, thanks for all the advice. I dumped him for good. Gonna ask out the other guy. Wish me luck. Story number 2. GF24F of 2 years attempted cheating on me 24 meters with a colleague 25 meters. Now she wants to talk about us again. What should I do? My girlfriend and I are both fresh college graduates age 24. At the moment, both are employed, but at the time of everything written below, I was unemployed and looking for a job, and she already had a job in her profession. Everything was going great. We solved all our problems together, and we did everything to make the other person feel better in the relationship. Every disagreement could be solved with talk, and that's what we did. We spent all our free time together. And after 2 years of being together, she tried to cheat on me in cold blood. I was not in the city for 15 days. I was at home with my family, helping with work in the countryside, trying to earn some money to have for a couple of months in advance when I returned to the city, where we both resided to look for a job. When I came back, I noticed that he was behaving strangely. Otherwise, she always can't wait to see me, but not that night, afterward. She lied to me about being depressed and anxious and had doubts about our relationship. For no reason at all, I don't know, I just started doubting when you were not around, since it was all very strange to me. After 3 days of wondering and trying to find out what was happening with my girlfriend, for the first time in 2 years, I decided to read her messages, and I had something to see. In a conversation with her best friend, she spat at me most terribly, and how she didn't even want to look at me. While I was gone, a colleague from the university, whom she had known for 5 years, called her and in her moment of weakness admitted that he liked her. I know this guy, clumsy, shy, I would never suspect anything. They went out, but as she wrote, if he had been a little more persistent, I would have cheated on him one by one. This made me sick of everything. I was disgusted. That night, it was as if my heart and lungs collapsed into my stomach, and such nausea seized me. I felt so betrayed and humiliated. The next day I confronted her about all this and, of course, broke up. She immediately started crying, begging and begging me not to leave her and to give her another chance, because she loves me so much and she made a mistake that she swears she won't repeat. I told her, out of pure empathy, that I would think about it for a few more days, because I could see that her stupid action was hurting her, since I knew from the start what the situation was going to be. I tried to break up after a few days again with the same reaction from her and the same outcome. I gave myself time. She and I tried to get everything back to how it was, but that love, that warmth of mine was lost. I cooled down and told her yesterday that it was finally over. She took it better than the first time, but she was still upset about it. While I was at home, every day after I finished work, I would give her a text or a video call, so we could talk for a few hours and I could tell her how much I love and miss her. Apparently, me going away for a few days made her lose interest in me and think that I don't love her anymore, as I did before, and am barely seeing her. I imagined everything with her, and she imagined it too. We wanted to escape abroad, get married, live together, and have children, and she stabbed me in the back. We could have had everything and not had it end like this. I still love her, but I don't trust her, and that's why I said, it's best not to see each other anymore. She still wants to talk to me again. What should I tell her? TLDR. GF attempted cheating on me with a colleague while I was away for 15 days working with my parents. She had no understanding for that and thought I don't love her, so she decided to try cheating on me. Found out about it when I checked her messages. I never do. But this time I had to since she was acting so out of character. Now she wants to talk to me once again about us. Had to write this somewhere. Any advice is welcome. My comment, in the first story, the girl is stupid. Are you serious? Spent the night with someone else's man and do not consider it treason? What difference does it make whether there was physical contact between you or not? You spent the night with someone else's man. This is already considered treason. Even the fact that you brought him to your house is also treason. Put yourself in your husband's shoes. Would you be pleased if you came home and your husband was in bed with someone else's girlfriend? Of course not. I wish the guy to calmly come to terms with the situation and try to let her go. I do not advise you to return such a wife who lets other people's men home, sleeps with them, and does not consider it treason. In the second story, the guy should have been wary of his colleague, the guy, in advance. If they communicate not on the topic of work or study, but on simple topics, a reason to think about cheating on your wife. You were given a red flag beforehand that was easy to spot. I believe that I should not forgive treason and divorce such a wife as soon as possible. Subscribe to the channel, please.